Looking for a good location with a property that maybe you have a recreational vehicle and you like to travel cross country and camp around the country. Maybe you're retired and your recreational vehicle is your life. I have a property that's just right for you. It's a property that's going to be in a community, in a HOA community, but that's going to feature this massive thing that you see right behind me, an RV garage. I know so many of you ask me for RV properties with RV garages that are close to Orlando, and guys, this is what I bring you today. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another beautiful property tour. For those of you new in the channel, my name is Ramses Missile. For you, my friends, you can call me Ram. And the whole purpose of having this channel is to bring you guys the most amazing opportunities, the most unique properties, and the most beautiful real estate in the Sunshine State. So be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification button so that you do not miss any of these weekly opportunities. Talking a little bit about the location where this property is going to be located at. We're going to be in the city of Tavares, Florida, and actually this is a brand new community from a really reputable builder. The community actually features a lot of floor plans, and this RV floor plan is one of those. Now, talking a little bit about the location where this community is going to be located, we're going to be in the city of Tavares, Florida. For those of you not familiar with Tavares, we're going to be about 45 minutes away from downtown Orlando. So if you work in Orlando, it's going to be very convenient for you. We're going to be about an hour and 30 from Tampa, Clearwater, and about an hour from Ocala, Florida. Also, we're going to be about 2 hours from Daytona Beach. So this is an area that is mostly kind of like around the Orlando suburbs. When it comes to going to Miami, we're going to be about 4 hours away. Now, something about this community, and you guys can probably see it right behind me, you're really not going to have much houses yet built. This is going to be a fairly small community, and we're going to have different floor plans in this community. One of the floor plans is, of course, the property that we're going to tour today with the RV garage, but they actually have another floor plan that I can't show to you guys because it's sold. That is a two-story home with the RV garage, kind of like the same setup as you will see right now, which it's a beautiful property as well. They're building a couple of those, but like I said, they sold the one that they had available, so I can show you the one that they're going to build because it's not built yet. Now, talking a little bit more about this floor plan in particular, this property is going to be a 3 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms with almost 2,000 square feet of living space. But of course, the main highlight of this property is going to be the huge RV garage. I'm actually afraid to open that thing on from the inside because the door is so big. Of course, the RV garage takes away from one of your garage spaces, so you're going to have a 1-car garage for your regular car. But actually the garage is pretty deep, so if you have more than 1 car, you can actually go into the garage, and you'll see it in a second. Of course, another thing that we have is these stacked stone right on this area right here that give the property a lot of good curb appeal. We're also going to have gutters included with the property, which is always something good to have. You don't have to negotiate on the gutters. And of course, this is just a model home, so a lot of what you will see, take it with a grain of salt. Model homes can change. You can change the finishes, and you can change sometimes the layouts. Okay, so what you will see over here, take it with a grain of salt. The finishes sometimes make the house a little bit more expensive. This property right now is being priced at $439,000. Prices can always change, and prices are always negotiable, of course. If you get a good realtor, some realtors don't like to negotiate, but if you get a good realtor like moi, you can get some negotiation on that price, some leeway. Now, this property is going to have an HOA before we go inside. The HOA is going to be about $140 every single month. The community doesn't really have any amenities. I really don't understand why they're charging for the high of an HOA, but of course that's not my decision, that's the builder's decision. There is not going to be any CDD, which is always good not to have any CDD. I don't foresee an HOA like this going higher because really there is no amenities. They just take care of the common areas like, you know, the grounds and the green spaces, okay? Now, talking a little bit more about the property itself, of course, we're going to have this little entryway that leads to your front door and a nice window, of course. It's very different. We usually don't see windows in entryways, but I always like when builders are bold with their choices, and this is very different. It looks nice from the inside, of course. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the inside is just as beautiful as the outside, so I hope you guys are ready. Let's go in and give it a tour. Now, walking into the property, it's a nice day to walk into some AC, I'm telling you that much. Walking into the property, we're going to see, of course, a couple things throughout that are going to be common for this specific builder. Of course, we're going to have this very nice long tile throughout the house, except in the bedrooms. We're going to have tall ceilings and tall doors as well. The doors are going to be about 8-foot tall doors, and the ceilings are going to be about 9.5, which always gives your property a feeling of space and openness. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and start the tour with this area of the house. This is going to be kind of like the guest area where you're going to have your guest bedrooms and your guest bathroom, of course. Let's start with the last bedroom, which of course, as you guys are going to see, it's going to have carpet. It's common with majority of HOA builders that guest bed or bedrooms in general have carpets. Pretty spacious bedroom is going to be about 14 by 12 in space. Of course, we have a nice double window overlooking the north part of your property, a nice built-in closet. The closets also have taller doors, as you can see, so it makes it a little bit more spacious. And right behind me is going to be, actually this instance is not going to be a queen bed, it's going to be a full-size bed. So it is a little bit of course, a smaller bedroom, like I was saying on the measurements, but it's still fairly comfortable, okay? Now, going outside, we're going to pass by that window I was telling you, of course, that overlooks the entryway. And right on the other side, we're going to have our first bathroom of the house and our only guest bathroom. Couple of things to mention that are going to be common throughout the house are going to be the countertops, which are going to be quartz, like I said, throughout the house, okay? You're going to have soft close cabinetry in the bathrooms and in the kitchen as well, which is always good to have. Some builders only do it in the kitchen and not in the bathrooms to save some money, but this is not the case, okay? And of course, they did try to save some money when it comes to the finishes in the shower. We're going to have a regular bathtub shower combination, which is always good to have. It's always good if your property has at least one bathtub, as much as some of us might not like them. Okay, now let's go ahead and tour the second guest bedroom, which is going to be a hint bigger, but not much. Okay, so if the other one was 12, this one's going to be about 13, but we're going to have the same finishes throughout. Of course, here we have a ceiling fan, which is not common. The normal house is not going to come with the ceiling fan, but rather is going to come with a hookup for you to put a fan or a light. We're going to have a single window in this instance that's overlooking the west side of your property. And of course, our built-in closet, same closet as you guys saw on the other bedroom, okay? So fairly similar, two very comfortable bedrooms nonetheless. And of course, going back into this little hallway, it's going to take us into our foyer area. But before we go there, there is going to be this little coat linen closet, whatever you want to turn it into. Right now it has some shelves, so I guess it has to be like a linen closet for your towels, or maybe if you take the shelves out, it can be for cleaning. I don't think you need a coat in Florida, so you won't really be using that as a coat closet. Anyways, the lanai here connects us to this area that in this instance is being used as an office space. If you want to, you can also turn it into kind of like a play area, a mini bar, or you could turn it into a formal dining space. As you guys will see in a second, the dining room or the dining table is kind of like in the middle of everything. It looks good, but this will be a little bit more private for those Christmas parties, for those gathering days, okay? We're going to have another double window to bring in some natural light into this area. And this is going to be a space of about 12 or 13 feet in length, okay? Of course, you can always put kind of like a wall right here and make it into an additional bedroom, but I think it will kill a little bit the vibe of the house, okay? Now, before we go into the kitchen, let's go and see what's usually something that people are not excited to talk about, which is the garage. But in this instance, of course, it's going to be a different garage. Right on this little pocket of the house, we're going to have the garage on this door, and then right behind me, which is what we're going to see right now, we're going to have our laundry space. Builder does include you with the washer and the dryer without you having to negotiate, which is always good because we can negotiate on some other terms. You have this little, of course, wire rack that they always include for you to put your cleaning supplies for your laundry. We have this little prep area so that whenever you're coming here, I know in another model of this house, this prep area was actually, the builder did it, and it had a countertop, you know, it had some cabinetry that they did themselves. In this instance, they left it open for your interpretation, okay? Now, let's go and see what we've all been waiting for, which is going to be our huge RV garage. There might be some echo in there, but it's just because this place is massive. Of course, fully epoxy floor in this garage, which really in a garage this big can save you about, I don't know, $1,000 to $1,500 in this epoxy. And it's a very nice epoxy. It's one of those that is kind of like rough. Of course, we're going to have over here our massive RV door right above me, and you guys cannot even see it on the picture, but I'll put some B-roll there. You have that massive garage door opener. And of course, a touch that I really like that they did is the garage doors with the little windows and more windows right above the garage. So even though it is a big dark space, normally garages, in this instance, we're going to have a lot of windows so it doesn't feel too dark during the daytimes. I will tell you something, it does get very hot in here. Something about this builder and this garage in particular is we're going to have that thing that's right there. This is one of those smart water heaters that absorbs a lot of the heat that's trapped into the garage to actually heat the water up. So it's one of those fancy water heaters. Something that we're also going to have in this RV slash regular garage is going to be our hookup for our garage. I believe it's going to be a 100 or 240 volt connection. Correct me if I'm wrong, I might have forgotten that number right there. Something that's also super, super cool for my Latinos and for anybody that really loves a clean space and the versatility that this little thing, as cheap as it is to install, majority of houses don't have it, and it gives you so many, it's so versatile for anything. You know, you can watch your mop right here, shoes, anything that you don't want to do inside the house, okay? Something that we also have right here, of course, is going to be this exit side door that will take you to the side of your house. It's a little stuck in there. Of course, if you have maybe your trash bins on the side of your house, you can just go out through here, throw the garbage in there, which is always convenient. Or if you have to work on the irrigation, anything, you don't have to go through the front or through the back, you can always go out through here, okay? Now, before we leave the garage, of course, let's talk a little bit about what I was talking about in the outside. Even though you have a single car garage for your regular cars, you guys can probably see the space behind me. Look how long this garage is. Of course, you need to fit an RV here, a recreational vehicle, or maybe if you have a boat. So it needs to be long, but it can also be long enough to feed about 2 cars, I think. Yeah, I think 2 cars would be more than enough to fit here. Of course, if your RV is outside, you can park something over here, but it's a huge garage nonetheless, okay? Before we head out, of course, right here, we're going to have an electrical panel. Always good to have a lot of assistance in the garage or like somewhere outside the house or in an area that's not in the middle of everything. I actually toured a property the other day where the electrical panel was kind of like in a bathroom. So you never want that, okay? Now, let's come back into the AC, thank God, and tour what's going to be our kitchen, living and dining space. Of course, this is going to be one of those open floor plan setups, okay, where you're going to have everything in kind of like the same area, but everything makes sense. Everything flows naturally in this house, okay? Like I was telling you guys before, quartz countertops even in the kitchen, and the soft close all over the place. You're going to have, of course, the dovetail. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but it's going to be right here, which usually means it's a little bit of a better quality cabinetry compared to when they're stapled, okay? You're also going to have the soft close right here, of course, in the doors, and some really cool appliances. You're going to have this, a little bit of a higher end dishwasher. It has some functions that regular dishwashers don't, which is good. It's a good thing that the builders do that. And I know a lot of people say, hey, you know, they're overpricing these houses, they're giving you the basic. So whenever builders go a little bit different than the other ones, it just makes me so happy, because I want my buyers to get the best. Okay, now of course we have our very spacious sink, so you can stack all your dishes when you're feeling a little bit lazy to wash them, if you don't want to use the dishwasher, with the black plumbing fixtures. Super nice. And of course your regular stainless steel fridge. This one's not too different, but you have it included with the purchase of your house. Right behind me, we're going to have some more cabinetry throughout, of course. The cabinetry, by the way, is going to be 42-inch cabinetry up top with crown molding. Whenever you have a property that's a little bit higher end than majority of the rest of the properties, you're going to have 42-inch cabinetry with crown molding, okay? It's going to be more common. Of course, stainless steel appliances over here as well, with your range oven and your microwave. You get them all included, of course, with the purchase. Now, this one right here behind me is something I'm very excited to show you guys. If you guys have been watching some of these videos, you know I love huge pantries. It's something that is just, I don't know for what reason, but I just love them. This one's going to be fairly spacious. If you're one of those that when hurricane season comes and you love stacking up water and toilet paper and taking all the food away from everybody, you have this pantry to put all that stuff in there, okay? So super nice to have a pantry this sizable. Now, let's go on to the other side, of course, and check out what's going to be the living area. The setup they have right here, of course, is with 2 double couches and the TV on that side. You can set it up the same way. It is very spacious. You can actually put a sectional that's bigger than this too, and you will still have space and it will still feel comfortable. You have windows all over the place, which is something I really like about this house. It doesn't feel dark even when lights are off, which is something very important for you to have in your home, not just for yourself, but for your future resale value, okay? Double window right here, single window right here, and another single window to my left. Now, let's go and check out what's going to be kind of like the design dining area. Like I was telling you guys before, on that area where we saw the office, you could always put the dining space there. Me personally, I think I would like it there a little bit more because it feels a little bit more private. When your family is having gatherings, it feels a little bit better. But if you want to maximize the space of this property, of course, you have it right here with this 6-seater, and it doesn't really feel like it's in the middle of the way, okay? It feels very natural. Now, let's go and tour what's going to be behind me. Is going to be our master's bedroom. If you guys didn't realize, this is going to be a split floor plan where your master is going to be on one side and your guest bedrooms are going to be on the other side, the kids away from you guys so that they can let you sleep. Now, the master's bedroom is going to be a little bit more spacious than the guest bedrooms, of course, like it's normal, but it is also going to be a quite small master's bedroom for majority of what we've seen, okay? This is going to be about a 15 by 14 in space, still fairly spacious. Right here we have a queen bed. Of course, the double window so that you can overlook in your backyard so that you can see your kids playing on Christmas Day or you know, during the morning times on the weekend. You can see them playing outside with a dog. And of course, we have a ceiling fan. Normally it's going to be a hookup, but in this instance, we have it as a full ceiling fan, okay? Over here, we're going to start coming into what's the master's bathroom. This one's a fairly simple bathroom, but it's still very cute. You have the double sink vanity with the quartz, and you also have the soft close with this big cabinetry over here, so you can put or all your, your toilet paper, your toiletries down there, and have enough storage space. Now, over here is going to be your throne, and right on behind this door is going to be the shower. Of course, you have a backsplash that is not just the vinyl, but is ceramic, very attractive backsplash. Unfortunately, not floor to ceiling, but it still looks fairly nice. And you have, of course, the black plumbing fixtures. Okay, now, another thing that's always important, especially for my ladies, is going to be the walk-in closet. We're going to have a pretty spacious walk-in closet. I would say this is going to be about a 7 by 6 walk-in closet. You, of course, have your regular wire rack like it's normal with the builder grade, okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take a step out in our lanai and check out what's going to be our backyard. Guys, this is just a model home, so take the backyard space with a grain of salt. This is not the actual backyard space of this community, okay? They just, of course, always put the model homes in kind of like a smaller lot because it's just for show. Now, let's go in and give it a look, okay? Now, something that's going to be, and before we step into our lanai, something that's going to be really, really cool about this kind of like sliding door setup is it's going to open towards the inside. I'll show you guys in a second. If you guys see, they're both going to open kind of like towards the outside. It does feel a little bit better when it's this way rather than just one opening to the other one. And of course, they're pretty big so that you can have all that natural light coming in during the day. Okay, now our lanai space is going to be a must in Florida. In this case, this lanai space is going to be a little bit enclosed. Normally we see them kind of like outside of the house and it feels a little different, but this one's going to be kind of like enclosed into the house under the roof of the actual house, okay? The lanai is going to be about a 17 or 15, give or take, space or length by about a 7 to 8 foot in width. So pretty spacious lanai. This is where you can set up your dominoes table and play some dominoes on Sundays or play some poker with your friends, watch the World Cup games, put a TV right here, watch the World Series or whatever sport you're into. Now, coming into the backyard, like I was telling you guys before, take this backyard with a grain of salt because this is not the regular lot size of this community. This is just a model home. But when we always come to the backyards, we want to talk, of course, about septic, sewer, well water. As you guys know, it's most common in communities to have public water, so water directly sourced from the city, and public sewer, which means, of course, the city takes care of your sewer. Okay, so no septic tank here, no well water. Like I told you guys earlier, the HOA is going to be about $140 a month. And let's go ahead and go inside and talk a little bit more about what's going to be kind of like the taxes for this area, what are going to be some monthly payments depending on your type of loan, the price, of course, and some insurance costs. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk a little bit more about what the numbers for this property are going to be. Now, as I told you guys in the beginning of the video, the property is going to be currently priced at $439,000. Prices, like I always tell you guys, are always negotiable or subject to change. Okay, now let's run numbers based on that price, okay, without negotiating anything. Now, something very important before we get into the numbers is this builder is actually offering a 4.99 interest rate towards first-time home buyers, which is always good because it brings your monthly payments as low as possible. I believe the same incentives apply for a VA loan. So if you're a veteran, first of all, thank you for your service, but you also get the benefit. Okay, now talking a little bit about numbers, and given that we said that they're offering a 4.99, we're going to run numbers at $439,000 with that 4.99 interest rate, okay? The taxes around this area are around 1.3% for the assessed value of your property, so we can call it $4,500 a year, okay? Now, when it comes to insurance is going to be fairly inexpensive here in Florida, especially for new construction properties. So I estimate about $1,000 to $1,200 a year for your insurance costs. Of course, your HOA is going to be about 140, not about, it's going to be 140 every month, and there's not going to be any CDD. Which, now putting all those numbers together, we can come up with an estimated monthly payment so that you get a better idea, okay? Now, for FHA and VA, and of course taking advantage of that 4.99 interest rate, your monthly payments will be roughly between $3,000 to $3,200 every single month, all included, and before any exemptions. If you call me, of course, I can go over what the exemptions are, whether you're VA or you're a first-time home buyer, but you do have some tax exemptions here in the state of Florida, okay? Homestead exemption being one of the first ones. If you're buying with a conventional loan, let's say you want to put a 20% down payment, you know you don't pay private mortgage insurance, so the monthly payment, even at a higher interest rate, goes down significantly. So the number with a 20% down payment conventional loan for a primary property, of course, would be roughly $2,800 to $2,900 every single month, okay? Now, there is a lot of different loan options. For example, let's say you have a business and you didn't want to pay Uncle Sam his share, you didn't want to really declare much income in your taxes, and you're looking to buy a property, you can do one of those bank statement loans or DSCR loans. There is a lot of different options. Like I always tell you, I don't want the video to extend too much with me telling you all of the different options, but if you guys have any questions about any of those, you can always send me an email or give me a call and we can walk you through what your options are and the best way for you to purchase a home, okay? Now, if you guys found some value on this property tour, let me know what you think in the comments about it. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and of course, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe and hit the like button. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's always a lot of effort to come out here and do this, but this is a beautiful house nonetheless. And don't forget, like I told you guys in the beginning, we have that 2-story home that also have the RV garage. So if you guys have any questions about that one in particular, definitely reach out, okay? It was a pleasure having you guys here once again. Until the next one, ciao, ciao.